Big LEZ'S League, an all rugby league experience. Hello, welcome back to Big LEZ'S League, an all rugby league experience. I'm your host, Big Les. What we've got a list of players from the Penrith Panthers off contract at the end of the 2027 season going into 2028. Since there is a lot of them, and in particular big stars, we thought, why not do a podcast where we clean out the Penrith Panthers roster, we get these players to other clubs. There is one opportunity on this spinny wheel with all 19 clubs, including the Perth Bears and the PNG Chiefs. There's one opportunity for these players to stay at the Panthers. We've left them on this table, but most of them are going to leave, it looks like. Let's get started. What we're going to do, we'll spin the wheel. We'll go through, obviously, down this list of players. We'll go on a player, we'll spin the wheel, and then the club that the wheel lands on is where that player will be going to for season 2028. Make sure if you want more content like this to go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube, become a part of the Big LEZ'S League community. But let's get started. Nathan Cleary is first up on the list. So the list includes Nathan Cleary, Paul Alamotti, Sione Fanua, Mitch Kenny, Moses Leota, Liam Martin, Isaiah Papali'i, Lauren Patea, the young front rower, Billy Scott, the young number 9, Blaise Solangi, Brian Toe, and Isaiah Yeo. So, first off, Nathan Cleary. We're going to spin the wheel and we'll find out where he goes for season 2028. Let's go. Wow. Well, not very exciting. Nathan Cleary is set to take that spot, staying at the Penrith Panthers. Long term, no surprises there. Stay at Penrith. Alrighty. Nathan Cleary staying at the Penrith Panthers. We're going to take that off the board. So now every one of these other players is set to leave the Panthers. Let's go and spin the wheel for Paul Alamotti. Paul Alamotti set to return to the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Not too much room for him in that roster. They've obviously got young Jethro Rinakama. They've also got Jonathan Sewer as well on the wings. Obviously Marcelo Montoya there with Jacob Kiraz at the moment. You've then got obviously Critter in the centres with Bronson Xerri at the moment. So unless Bronson Xerri leaves the Bulldogs, there isn't too much room for Paul Alamotti to jump back into this back line. So he'd be going there as a bit of a fringy. But that's the way the wheel works. And Paul Alamotti, is set to go back to the Bulldogs, taking them off the board. Let's spin again. This time for Sione Fanua. And he's going to go to the Newcastle Knights. I don't mind that. It is good depth for them. I don't mind him going to Newcastle. Obviously, think about their outside back stocks. They've got some decent outside back stocks, but they're a little bit more cover at fullback is always nice. And obviously, with Sione Fanua, he can go to fullback, wing, or centre. I think he could probably also fill in one of those hybrid roles off the bench too. He's a bigger body. Interesting story for Sione Fanua as well. I believe he was at Parramatta for a very long time through the junior systems. Gave up rugby league and had a break for a while, and then Penrith Panthers, they reached out for an opportunity for him to get back into that side. He took it, and yeah, he's been playing for the Panthers ever since in the lower grades, and obviously trialled 2 years ago now for them. Played very, very well. Played well in this year's trials as well. But really cool story there for young Johnny Fanua, Sione Fanua, who's going to go to the Newcastle Knights as per this board. Mitch Kenny, let's spin the wheel for Mitch Kenny and see where he lands. Now, I don't think they need another hooker in the building, but the Dragons have now landed Mitch Kenny. Mitch Kenny off to the Dragons. To be honest, I don't mind a little pairing of him and Jacob Little. I'm sure Jacob Little is probably sick of being the bench man, but he'll get a couple of years to himself for 2027 and the rest of 2026 potentially as well, depending on what they want to do with their bench. Obviously, team lists when we're recording this haven't came out for Magic Round. By the way, Magic Round preview on Momentum this week. It should already be out by now, so head over and watch that after this. But Mitch Kenny to the Dragons, him and Jacob Little there, 9 and 14. I don't mind it at all. Do they need Mitch Kenny in the building? most likely not. But then again, like their hooker depth, they would have Kenny, Little, Connor Mulhausen, and then that young Finau, I think, as well, Haley Finau. So in regards to their hooker depth, maybe Mitch Kenny isn't the worst signing out of all time either. And Little can obviously have a great impact off the bench as well, and Mitch Kenny can move into that lock forward position as well throughout the game. So Mitch Kenny to the Dragons. Let's now spin for Moses Leota and see where he lands. Wow, Moses Leota linking back up with James Fisher-Harris at the New Zealand Warriors. That would be all time. That would be awesome to see. And their pack would be insane. You know, Aaron Clark, James Fisher-Harris, Moses Leota, Jackson Ford. Barnett's obviously gone at that stage. He'd be going to the Brisbane Broncos. But what a pickup for New Zealand if they were able to get Moses Leota to link back up with Fisher-Harris. The Bash Bros reunited. That would be awesome. But yeah, New Zealand Warriors land Moses Leota. Let's spin again now for Liam Martin. Now, the interesting thing with Liam Martin is that he has been linked to a couple clubs. So it will be interesting to see where on this list he lands. I imagine he'll be definitely on the radar of the PNG Chiefs. I think that he'll be one of those guys that does end up signing there. But I think the Roosters are monitoring the situation. I think there's a couple of other clubs that will be looking at young Liam Martin. So let's see where he lands. Oh, the Sharks. I don't mind that at all for Liam Martin. Liam Martin off to the Cronulla Sharks. Now, obviously, they've got Teague Wilton in there, who I guess has been in and out. They've got Billy Burns. They got Britton Nickera, obviously, locked into that starting right back row. But a back row of Liam Martin and Britton Nickera would be absolutely insane. Two really good line runners, two very aggressive back rowers. That would be unreal for the Cronulla Sharks. And Billy Burns maybe coming off the bench, Teague Wilton off the bench potentially. I don't mind that too much either for the Sharkies. So Liam Martin to the Sharks, a very interesting move. Isaiah Papali'i is the next one on this list. You'd have to think by this stage, Isaiah Papali'i, a little bit aged, transitioning into the middle, I think would be what Isaiah Papali'i would be doing at this stage, 2028. Be a little bit older. Let's see where he lands. Oh, the Raiders. I don't mind this shout at all. Obviously, Josh Papali'i will most likely be retired at this stage. So going off to the Canberra Raiders, I don't mind that for Isaiah Papali'i. Again, I think that he'd probably be moving into the middle. Very different to what I guess the Raiders have been going for over the past couple of years. You've got Jaden Braley, who's recently had some stints at 13 for the Canberra Raiders as well. So they are starting to adopt a little bit of a smaller mobile pack. Guys like Simi Sasangi will become very, very good. And depending on what his role is going to be, whether he stays in that starting back row spot, goes back to the bench, that'll be very interesting. But yeah, look, I think that would be an awesome signing for the Canberra Raiders. Isaiah Papali'i in the middle with Joe Tarpanay. I don't mind that at all. Isaiah Papali'i to the Canberra Raiders. Laurent Patea now, a younger guy. Obviously not in the side at the moment. Let's see if he can grab an opportunity elsewhere. Where does he land in 2028? Talk about the land of opportunities. Laurent Patea going from a premiership winning Penrith Panthers outfit to the Melbourne Storm. I don't mind it at all. Obviously, they've got some young forwards over there at the moment at Melbourne. David Mawali is doing a little apprenticeship there before going to the Manly Seagulls next season. You got a couple of older guys as well. Jack Hetherington's gone over there. I don't mind it. I really don't. I think that one thing that the Melbourne Storm do need to, get sorted is that forward rotation. Tui Kamikamica isn't going to be there forever. You got Lazarus Falepu and Atavala Lasardi. Lasardi's obviously worked his way into the back row, but what they want to do moving forward with this Melbourne Storm pack, Laurent Patea would definitely be a great addition into their depth, that's for sure. So Laurent Patea to the Melbourne Storm will take them off the board. So the clubs left on the board at this stage include the Broncos, the Dolphins, the Titans, Manly Seagulls. You've got the North Queensland Cowboys, the Perth Bears, the Rabbitohs, the Roosters, You've got the Chiefs on the board as well. So the Bears and the Chiefs still on the board. Parramatta and West Tigers. At the moment, we've got Cleary going and staying at Penrith. We've got Alamotti, the Bulldogs. We've got Sione Whenua at the Newcastle Knights, Mitch Kenny to the Dragons, Moses Leota to the New Zealand Warriors, Liam Martin to the Sharks, Isaiah Papali'i to the Raiders, and Lauren Patea to the Melbourne Storm. Where to for young hooker Billy Scott? Let's have a look. Wow, just onto the Perth Bears. So Bears get a signing there in the number 9 role. That'll most likely see Tyron Wishart move into the 6 role with obviously Toby Sexton there at halfback. I don't mind that at all. Billy Scott, definitely first grade worthy. Very good player, Billy Scott. Has also played a bit of 13 in his time at Penrith in the New South Wales Cup. So I think that he will definitely be a good addition to that squad there. A young player you're going to get plenty of years out of in Billy Scott. Don't mind it at all for the Perth Bears. Now we're getting into the crunch time areas. We've got Blaze Salungi, Brian Toto, and Isaiah Yeo to the pick. We'll start off with Blaze Salungi. Where's he going to land? The Sydney Roosters. I don't mind this because he could be a potential little Tedesco replacement there at fullback if you want to move him back to his natural position. Otherwise, really good player to have in maybe jersey 14 or even coming into the halves in jersey 6 as well. They've got Savala. They've obviously got Toby Rodwell as well. They've got the 2 Rodwell brothers. One of them obviously a winger and one in the halves. I think Tom's the one in the halves. No. Toby's I'm having an absolute mind blank. Let's look that up. Toby Rodwell, I believe he's the half. Toby Rodwell is the halfback, yeah, and then Tom Rodwell's the one on the wing. So they've got Toby Rodwell, they've got Hugo Savala, they've got a couple of other young halves in that building as well. But to have a guy like Blaze Salungi in there, definitely throw a bit of a spanner in the works, and him and Sam Walker would just be crazy attack together as well. So Sydney Roosters for Blaze Salungi. That could be very interesting to see where he sort of lands. Obviously, centres is an option for him as well. Brian To'o. This is going to be a big one. Where does Brian To'o land in 2028? Brian To'o to the PNG Chiefs. So the Bears and the Chiefs now off the board. PNG, Brian To'o linking up with his good mate in Jerome Luai there at the Chiefs. I don't mind that at all. I think that could be a really nice little move for Brian To'o. They've got Alex Johnson there already, so that is a pretty awesome little wing pairing there for the PNG side. You got Luai there in the 6 at the moment. Keen to see who else the other signings. Keen to see who else signs there, I should say. But I'll tell you what, it's a good little roster that they are building. So Brian To'o to the PNG Chiefs, which only leaves Isaiah Yeo on the board. Where does Isaiah Yeo land? Let's have a look. It's going to be exciting. Wow, the Manly Seagulls. I can't even picture that, to be fair. I can't even picture him at Manly. It just feels wrong, but tell you what, it's a good little addition to their pack. He goes in at 13. You can move Gerbo into the front row. Rotation if Gerbo is still playing at that stage. You've got a good little young pack that they are building there, and Isaiah Yeo to lead them. Future captain of that side, obviously, if he goes there according to this little sheet here. But great pick up there, Isaiah Yeo to the Manly Seagulls. So to recap, we have got Cleary staying at Penrith. We've got Alamotti going to the Bulldogs, Sione Whenua going to the Newcastle Knights, Mitch Kenny to the Dragons, Moses Leota to the Warriors, Liam Martin to the Sharks, Isaiah Papali'i to the Canberra Raiders, Lauren Patea to the Melbourne Storm, Billy Scott to the Perth Bears, Blaze Salungi to the Sydney Roosters, Brian To'o to the PNG Chiefs, and Isaiah Yeo to the Manly Seagulls. There you go, guys. That is your Spin the Wheel. Haven't done Spin the Wheel in ages on the podcast, but thought may as well get it back just to bring a bit of content to you guys. Wanted to get something out on the YouTube. Subscribe down below. We'll see you in the next one.